Fuck is up with y'all? Yeah. Do you feel safe? Do you feel safe when you're around large crowds? Do you feel safe? Do you feel protected? Are you comfortable in your own space? Are you comfortable in your own skin? Right? I ask this because a lot of times I feel like people are really just basically walking around filled with anxiety, and they're not even aware of it, or they're aware of it, but they're just kind of like barely hanging on, just pushing through it and coping with feeling unsafe. A lot of characteristics or signs of a person feeling unsafe is usually being flighty, being, always agitated or in fear. I mean, all these things I can relate to. I try my best to try to always maintain a sense of, safety for myself. But in reality, there's always that fear or feeling of being unsafe in the back of my mind. Some people call this PTSD. Some people call it, trauma. It's all kind of relevant if you ask me. Me personally, I know that I have to constantly remind myself that I'm safe and I'm okay.
A lot, right?
A lot.
Yeah.
Because I've been through a lot of shit where I wasn't safe.
Especially at an early age of life.
At an early age of life. Like as a kid, I was never made to feel safe. I'm not gonna lie.
A lot of instability.
A lot of instability. A lot of just, we grew up in the hood, and every place we ever moved to. That's another reason why we were always moving. We moved so much. We never knew anything about stability. We never knew what it was like to live in one place and make friends and know them all our life, or see the same person our whole life, or the same house all our life. We don't know about that. I don't know about that, even as an adult. We were kids. We were in very unsafe situations. My dad was a dope dealer. He was in the streets. We practically lived in trap houses most of our life as children. It was always activity. It was never just me, him, and our dad. It was always a bunch of other shit going on.
Yeah.
Cops kicking in the door. So because of that, I've developed a normal, I guess you can call it, normal way of coping with feeling unsafe all the time. Which is why stability and safety is one of the priorities for me in my life.
To this day, still is for me.
Yeah.
And that leads me to say, what I was going to say was, I feel like a lot of what most people do, in America anyway, I'll say, probably all throughout the world, but at least I'll speak for America, a lot of what motivates us, a lot of what our motives are for why we do what we do, somehow is usually rooted in safety, or the want for safety, the need for safety, the need for stability, right? I'm sure there's other factors that are behind it, but I know that a lot of what we do when it comes to our work, our hobbies, how we communicate, a lot of it is all rooted in somehow, some way, rooted in a want and a need for safety, stability, to feel safe. That's what this conversation is about, is feeling safe, the need for safety, and how we can find safety and what we do to keep ourselves safe on a regular basis in this world, in this chaotic world that we live in, right? There's a lot of things we do to try to stay safe.
So that leads me to another thing that I want to speak on is I wrote and recorded and produced a song called "You're Safe." You can check out the video on our page if you see it.
The link will be in the description.
Yeah, and go check the video out. I encourage you to do it because I think it's a pretty cool video, and the message is very important to me and for you. The main reason why I wrote this song is because I use it almost like every day. I play the song to almost remind me of the fact that you're okay, you're safe. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
It's like an affirmation.
It's like an affirmation. That's why I wrote the song, because when I hear it, it makes me feel okay. Because I need that. I need that. I need to reaffirm that I am safe. You know, because I'm not perfect. I still have the lingering stuff going on in my mind from the past. I'm not perfect. I'm still trying to grow and heal every day. You know, and I have to admit that's something that I don't even want to use the word struggle, but it's something that I need to be reminded of. It's okay. You're safe.
Speaking of feeling safe, sorry to cut you out, but I'm feeling this bomb-ass breeze right now. And that breeze is one thing right there. For me, smelling that ocean air coming from the
Straight
beach,
up.
being beach babies,
Yeah.
that smell is something that gives me a safe feeling. You know, I had to speak on that because just right then it came in and it goes, damn, I feel safe just from that, from that breeze, that smell.
Yeah.
That's another thing, you know? This thing just sounds. There could be sounds, there could be smells that makes us feel safe, you know? You know? Not to get off subject about his song, because this is the most important thing we're talking about right now, is this song that he made, which I love. I helped film it, the video for it,
Yeah.
right here on this beach, matter of fact.
That's right. And you know why we did it on the beach? Because the beach is another part of my safety.
Right.
I feel safe on the beach.
Right.
This is where I commune. This is where I come to find peace. This is where I come to unload all my stresses. Some people go to church. I go to the beach. I talk to the water.
Sanctuary.
It's my sanctuary, you know?
From Venice Beach to Long
Yeah.
Beach.
That's right. So, you know, I that song, You're Safe, I wrote it because I have hope you guys would appreciate the message in it, you know? Because I know that for a fact there's a lot of people out there that need to be reminded on a constant basis. You're safe. I work with people all the time with all types of disabilities, right? And it comes with a lot of different psychological stuff too. And I noticed a lot of them don't feel safe in a lot of moments in their life. You know, maybe they were raised to be in a very unsafe environment, you know, or just their day to day. It's just not, there's certain triggers for certain people, you know. You never know. You can't assume what's going on in a person's head or in their personal life in that moment, especially. You know, as human beings, we go through shit every day from moment to moment. And it's not to say that you're not supposed to. Yeah, you're gonna. This is what life is. But I just believe in creating ways to find safety, to come back to something safe. Like for some people, like if you got a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever significant other, they may be your safety when you come home after a long day, after a stressful day, and you're just not feeling like everything's okay.
Right.
You might just need someone to tell you everything's okay, give you a hug, or just play you a song, you know, to make you okay.
Right. Speaking of song again, can you say some of the lyrics from the song?
The hook goes, you're safe, you're safe, you're safe now, you're safe. You're safe now, you're safe, you're here with me.
Right.
And I say that because that was me talking to myself. That was me telling me that you're safe, it's okay. I was feeling very fucking unsafe in the moment. You know, I had a lot of stressful shit going on, that was a lot of uncertainty. See, that's another thing. Uncertainty makes me feel unsafe. You know, I know that life is full of uncertainties, but it doesn't make it any easier for me. It brings up anxiety for me whenever there's uncertainties. You know, I don't try to tackle every uncertainty in life because I know that's not possible. Some I just have to accept. A lot of it I just have to accept, you know, and trust that I'm gonna be okay, that I am okay. But, you know, there's things in life that sometimes that make me feel like something bad's gonna happen. Like sometimes I've had times in my life, I still go through this. There's times I'm just sitting here and I might be just chilling and I might have a thought of something bad might happen. So I start getting anxious, or I start getting uncomfortable. I start thinking, what is going on? What's wrong right now? Why am I feeling like this? When everything seemingly is okay. You know what I mean? In this moment, I am perfectly okay. Everything is okay. In this moment, everything is fine.
Which is all you have anyway.
And that's all you have. And that's the reason I want to talk about this, because we can't expect every day to be perfect. We can't expect every year to go the way we expect it to. We can't even expect every moment to go the way we expect it to. So we have to take into account that all we have is each moment. If you want perfection, if you want safety, you have to appreciate the safety you have right now.
In that moment.
In that moment.
Because that moment leads to the next moment, the next moment, the next moment, and before you have it, you have tomorrow. And the next moment, hopefully leads to another tomorrow.
And I believe it does.
Right.
I've experimented with this at certain times in my life. Like, I still do this. Like now, every day. If I have a moment, if I have some times where I just don't feel safe, I stop and I pay attention to my surroundings, and I'm just grateful for the moment of safety that I have right now.
Sure.
Because right now everything is perfect.
Right.
I can't really worry or think too far ahead and hope everything gonna be okay for the next moment. You know, but I do know for a fact that right now everything's okay. I think I should take the time to be grateful for that, because that's all I have, and it makes me feel okay in that moment. And I just try to take that from moment after moment after moment, and hopefully it leads to a whole path, a whole series of events that lead to safe moments, you know, to being okay, being secure, you know. I need to be constantly reminded that I'm safe and secure. I do. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing I do. As far as feeling safe on a regular basis, the closest thing to it is to focus on feeling safe in that moment. That's what I do. I just worry about, am I safe in this moment? Is everything good right now?
Yeah.
That's all I need. Then the next moment will come when it comes. And hopefully, because I'm focusing in this moment, the next moment will be just the same as that one. And that brings that stability. That brings that security. That brings that safety. When you focus on each moment. Because each moment creates the next moment. You understand what I'm saying? Each moment creates the next moment. So it only makes sense to be focused on that moment. Just so that next moment will be just like this one.
Yeah.
You know? Focus on the safety that you have in this moment. And it'll create another safe moment, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. The energy that you get into is going to be, it echoes for the next moment.
Right.
But you have to get into that. You can't just say it. Yeah, saying it helps, but you have to feel that shit. You have to feel safe. So that's why I'm stressing doing something that makes you feel safe.
But he can start with songs like that, is what I'm saying.
I
He
know.
can start with those affirmations.
That's what I love about the song, because the song for me is an affirmation.
Right.
You know, hopefully it'll help you feel the same. Hopefully on a day where everything's uncertain and you don't know if the rent gonna get paid, or if you're gonna keep your job after that argument with the supervisor, or if that bill gonna get paid on time. When you're worried about these things, do something to make you feel safe, to get your mind off the uncertainty, to get your mind off of the idea that maybe it's not. You gotta get out of that space, that mental space. You have to feel safe now. If that means you turn on a song with a repetitive hook that tells you you're safe, and with some lyrics that you can relate to as a human being, try it.
Yeah, the beat is like it's not distracting either. You know, what I mean, he did the production on that as well.
Yeah, I produced the beat. I wrote the hook. I sang the hook. He helped me with the video. I hope you guys appreciate the visuals. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice little serene scene on a beautiful day in Long Beach, out here on the beach.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a safe day.
It was a beautiful day. I never forget that day. I felt really good that day too. And we did that video randomly. We didn't really plan it. I just brought it up to him, and he heard the song, and he was like, "Damn, let's do the video." And we did it. And I'm glad, because now we get to bring this to you guys, and hopefully you guys can find some joy in that song.
Yeah, like I said, it'll be linked either in our description, or maybe also you can always check it out on our Instagram page too, DB Twins, on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, I hope that song is able to help you out, because I think it's a great song to listen to when you want to feel safe.
Yeah.
You know?
Listen to the lyrics in there. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you think about the lyrics. Are they relatable? Have you ever felt like how I felt when I wrote that song?
Right.
You know, I just tried to, what I really did when I wrote that song, I really tried to just hone in on how I really felt. I tried to really, as I said before in other videos, when I used to create music in the past, I used to create from a place of anxiety, not feeling safe. Isn't that ironic? And I would always have this big, it'd be this huge buildup of anxiety, and then when I get on the mic, I'd almost fucking crash every time. I'd get it out, I would deliver it, but I wouldn't deliver it like I wanted to, because I was so full of anxiety, you know? And I learned to finally start creating from a place of safety. So when I really did that, when I recorded that song, I tried to really connect with the feeling of being safe and okay.
Right.
And I tried to tell from my side of the story, from my experiences. I know we've talked about this in the past, but one of the experiences that also kind of still helps, that's still not helping, but kind of triggers me, is that the thought of homelessness, man, because I went through that, you know, years ago. And it to this day, it's not as bad as it used to be, but still I'm constantly reminded of it, because we live in LA. I see it around me all the time. You know, I try not to put too much energy towards it, try not to think about it too deeply, But yeah, there's been times where I've seen the homeless guy down the street, and I don't want that to ever be me again. You know what I mean? Because that's some cold shit for anybody to have to deal with. I don't want nobody to go through that. Not even my worst enemy. I don't wish that on nobody. If I got an enemy, I want you to fucking do well, and then I'm gonna fucking deal with you. But I don't want you to fucking have to be homeless. Nobody deserves to not have a place to sleep. Nobody deserves to not feel safe. Nobody should have to worry about what they're gonna eat the next day. Nobody. I don't want that for nobody.
Once again, I'm gonna revert back to what I was saying earlier. And I can say that because I've been through the same situations multiple times, unfortunately. But I'm confident that it'll never happen again. The reason why I can say that is because I finally got it through my head that I'm safe no matter what. And it's because, back to what I was saying,
Right.
I'm safe in the moment.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing else. There is no such thing as the future. There is no such thing as the past. It really, truly
These
is only
words
the moment.
exist, but the
Right,
reality
but
is
the
now.
reality is only right now. And if you can always remind yourself, if I'm safe now, then I will be safe on the next moment, in the next moment, in the next moment. As long as I put my focus there.
Yeah.
What's wrong? How you go wrong is you start talking about and thinking about what happened in the past.
Yeah, for sure.
When you weren't safe, and that's what you attract more of.
Yeah.
So focus on the safety that you have now, and you will continuously be safe. Focus on the safety that you have now. Focus on the abundance that you have now, and you will continuously repeat that. It'll be like a loop. You know, it'll be like a loop.
Yeah,
Just continue that.
You do this so many times over time, eventually it will be your reality.
Yeah.
And you will be safe.
Focus on the feeling of it.
Because you deserve to be safe. You know? You shouldn't have to walk around and try to like white knuckle through the way through.
Which is what a lot of us do.
Being anxious and scared and worried about what's going to happen. You shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, I used to obsessively smoke weed. Like, I smoke weed still, but not like the way I used to. I used to be obsessive about it. It was like back to back to back to back to back to back to back. And that was a coping mechanism with feeling unsafe.
Yeah.
You know? Anxiety, I guess you can call it. For the longest, I hated using that word.
Me too. I didn't even want to acknowledge that I had anxiety.
Yeah.
Until these last couple of years, that was the most anxious I had been in my life.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, to the point where it's just almost enough to make you just freeze and shut down. You know? And I don't want people to have to try to, you know, just push through that all the time. What we should be doing is changing it. Changing ourselves.
Fix the cause.
Yeah. Fix the cause of it, right.
Right.
Like I said, nobody should have to feel that way on the daily. Like, your life has challenges and we know that. But I just feel like we deserve to be at our best as much as possible if we can with this life that we have. You know, there's no promises, there's no guarantees.
But we gotta allow it, though. We're not taught how to allow it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times it's right there in front of you already, but you didn't allow it. You were blocking yourself from that safety. You're blocking yourself from that abundance. You're blocking yourself from that happiness. It was already in front of you, but you're not allowing it because you're worried. You're thinking. You're creating situations in your head about all these unsafe situations, all these lacking in situations. You're thinking about them. You're not allowing the abundance in. You're not allowing the fucking safety to come in.
Right.
You know, you're not.
Yeah.
And I know that from first-hand experience. Anything that we ever talk about in these fucking videos ain't from no fucking movie, ain't from no fucking book, ain't from no seminar. This is all lived out shit. And we're still doing it right now. You know, we're still experimenting and living through it every day. Trial and error.
Yeah, man.
And hence the reason why we do these videos, so you can do it with us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're having these conversations. Matter of fact, as I'm talking about it, I'm reminded to tell you, please, I'm asking you, please, leave a comment. Have a discussion with us. Don't just sit and watch. What do you feel? How are you feeling about what we're talking about here? You know what I'm saying? Are you unsafe right now? What are you dealing with right now as far as feeling unsafe? Or if you're feeling safe right now, tell me why. Why do you feel safe right now? What's helping with that? Because maybe, if not me, if I can possibly use it, maybe the next person who sees this video that you share this with can learn from that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, what are some things that you use to cope with uncertainty or feeling unsafe or unsure?
Yeah.
You know, what do you do? What are some of your actions? What do you do to avoid it? You know, if you're doing that, and if you're not avoiding it and you're actually facing it and connecting with these feelings, tell me, what are you feeling at the moment? You know, what are you going through? What triggers you? What have you gone through that keeps you feeling unsafe still? Because I know what's got me, and I'm still working on that. You know, I'm still working on that. But the best thing I could do at the moment is what I did. I used my creativity. I spoke to myself through a song. I wrote this song. hoping that maybe you guys can feel it too, that you guys maybe can connect with some of the words in the song. You're safe. You're safe now. You're here with me. You're not alone in this situation. I know what you're feeling. So you're not alone. You're not unsafe anymore. You're safe.
Sure.
Allow that, accept that. Just be in that space. For that moment, allow yourself to feel safe and let everything be okay in the moment for right now. Because you deserve that right now, in this moment.
Check out his song.
Yep.
Yeah, song You're Safe by Twin.
Twin, yeah, I go by the name Twin. So check it out. Check out You're Safe by Twin on our page, on our channel, on DV Twins. I'm pretty sure you'll like it. At the very least, you'll vibe out to it. Something to vibe out to in the car, you know what I mean? Maybe on a rough day, it'll bring you something, you know? Remind yourself that you're okay, man, for now. In this moment, you're okay.
Breathe. Don't forget to breathe.
Okay.
Think less.
Yeah, try to stay out of your head. Play this song. That'll keep you out of your head.
For sure.
So, yeah. I hope you guys got something from this video today. Anybody that thought about or even, you know, considered checking out what we was talking about, I appreciate you tuning in. I thank you very much for your energy and your support. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all those good things. We're trying to continue to keep this energy going, this momentum going, this connection. We want to continue to connect with y'all because I know we're not the only people that feel this way. That's why we're doing it. We don't have to be doing this. No, we don't have to. We don't get paid for this. We're just doing this because we know that we're not the only ones out here. And that's what this device is for. That's what this technology is for.
Connection.
To connect. So let's use it properly, not just to stare at each other and whatever the fuck people out there do. Like, I don't know. But we're here to connect. So please connect with us, man. I appreciate you even checking us out. Like I said, yeah, we are DV. I fuck with y'all. I love you and I love myself. But I'm mainly able to love myself. I'm able to love you because I love myself. And that takes work every single day. So take some time today. Get in tune and love yourself for yourself.